Hola, mi gente, and welcome to Cuéntame con Sonia Camacho. This short form podcast features the stories of Latinos from our community, from engineers, business owners, students, and so much more. Each episode will give you a quick boost of motivation and encouragement before starting your day. I'm your host, Sonia Camacho. Thank you for being here. Now let's get into today's episode. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Cuéntame con Sonia Camacho. Today, I have one of my dear friends, Fernanda Sulantay. She's a first generation PhD student from El Salvador. She's also a content creator on Instagram and TikTok. And on top of everything that she does, she's also a mother. So, with that short intro, I will let her take it away in case we missed anything. And thank you again so much, Fernanda, for being here. I can't wait to share your story.
Thank you so much for having me, Sonia. I'm super excited that you started doing this. I can't wait.
So, I guess what I really want to get out of this episode and what I think the listeners could really benefit is from hearing about the different challenges and how you overcame adversity. I mean, you have such an interesting story by coming to this country, choosing to go into STEM, and then dealing with motherhood along the way, and then content creation on top of that, and giving back to your community. So, I really just want to kind of let you take the floor and tell us your whole story and tell us all about your challenges throughout your time.
Yes, so definitely I was not the stereotypical student. As you mentioned, I grew up in El Salvador. Like I came here when I was 19 years old. So like I already had a life, back in El Salvador. Like I already even went to university. I had a boyfriend, I had my friends, everything. And then I come here to the US and I had to learn English because like I knew a little bit of English, but I was not that good at it. Besides that, I had to figure out a whole different culture. And as a first generation student, I had to figure out college. And then later on, I became a mom, and just like being a mom is hard and by itself. So doing it while getting my engineering degrees was even harder.
All right, so let's get into some of the adversities and challenges that you faced throughout your degree once you started school. If you want to tell us a little bit more about some of those stories and then transition into how you found out you were going to be a mom and all of that.
Yeah, so I think that one of the key things that I've noticed that I had during that time is my mindset. So I think that mindset it's everything. I never had like a poverty mentality. On the opposite, like I always had this abundance mentality. I kind of knew like things were possible. So even though at that moment, like I didn't have money, like I didn't have the opportunities and everything was like really hard, I was just like finding these opportunities, and or when they were like coming my way, I was just taking all the risk and getting these opportunities. And even if something didn't look ideal at the moment, I just like figure out I figure out a way to make it work. So for example, like I remember when I found out that I was pregnant with my son, this was in January, and at that like the same month, I find out that I got accepted to do a program in the Czech Republic to go do research for like 10 weeks. And then when I found out that I was pregnant, I'm like, oh, like I'm not going to be able to, to do it. Yeah. So for a few days, I was feeling like devastated, like, this is it. This is like the end of my academic career. Because this is the thing that society makes you feel like everyone makes it feel like, okay, you became a mom, then like you're done with your career, right? But yeah, but later on I was like, no, like let me just figure out a way to make it work. And I contact the person who is in charge of this program, and I asked her if I could go, even though I was gonna be like 7 months and like 8 months pregnant at the moment. And she said yes. So, I went, and I was there for 10 weeks while I was pregnant, and came back when I was 8 months pregnant. Yeah. So and then another thing that it was super helpful for me is that I always had my eyes on the prize. I don't know if you have heard that before. I remember that at one time I wanted to apply to a scholarship, and like there was this person who was helping me at my university, and I told him like what differentiates the people who get the scholarships, and he told me this, like they keep their eyes on the prize. And so that just became like part of my mindset, and I was just like aligning everything in my life to make it happen. Like I always thought like, okay, if you really want it, Fernanda, you're gonna make it happen. If you don't, then you're gonna make the excuses. And then like everything just like revolved around like my goals, like the things that I wanted to achieve.
That's awesome. I love that saying. Okay, so you tell us a little bit about your student life and becoming a mother. I want to know, when did content creation come into play with all of this? And when did you start documenting who you are and your experience online for others?
This happened after I had my son, because before that I used to volunteer a lot in person. And once I had my son, I had to spend more time at home. And so this is when I turned online to do like my volunteering efforts online. And I started sharing a lot about the scholarships that I knew about, and helpful tips or websites that other students could use. And then I realized that it was super helpful. And I started connecting with a lot of other content creators like you. And yeah, a lot of great opportunities came my way. And so it was a way to like give back to the community. And I even had the opportunity 2 years ago to do the engineering challenge that you were part of. So what we did is like we did it online, and we had actually like 800 participants. All were girls in engineering, and we gave them a problem, and they had a few days to solve it. And at the end we gave prizes. We also had a career fair. We gave out scholarships, and we had all the seminars where you were part of. And it was so rewarding.
It was truly amazing because honestly, one of my good friends from my graduate school, her name's Emily, and she actually got an internship through your engineers challenge.
Oh my God, are you serious? I
Yeah,
love
social media is
that.
really able to like have that impact, and I think it's so amazing how much you're able to give back to the community, especially because I know you've talked about this in other interviews, but you've always said like the reason that you're able to do motherhood and do school and do all the things that you do, content creation, is because you're not alone. You've always highlighted that, you know, you have a really strong family, your husband, your friends, like you have a lot of support, and I think that that's really important that you're doing that for others. Like you're really giving back and being there for other students who don't have that support system at home. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, definitely. Especially for us that we're Latinas, we know
Hmm.
that the percentage of Latinos in STEM is super low. So I feel like we are part of this low percentage, but it's like we're going back and we're like trying to like get everyone to come with us.
Yeah, we're trying to change the cycle that we had to go through, you know?
Exactly. Yes.
Are there any points and times or people, other content creators that you can think of, or experiences that kind of help you get to where you are today?
Yes, and I feel like a lot of us content creators that have become friends, like the ones that we went to the SHEP conference, like we're all doing that. And I think this is super important to surround yourself with the people that you know, you admire, or you want to become something like that, you know, like they're hardworking and they're working towards their goals. Because at the end of the day, you are influenced by these people. And like going with you guys, for example, to the conference, it was like so um inspiring, refreshing. Like I got so much out of it, even though we were just having fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what inspired me to start this podcast, you know? Okay, well, with the last few minutes that we have, Fernanda, I would love for you to share some of your goals for 2023 and what we can expect from you on your social media, if anything, if you can give us any hints there.
Yes, I have so much planned, and I'm super excited for it because I'm switching. Now I'm gonna be creating like more days in the lives, or like more like inside of what I do, more like vlogs. I know we've been talking about this too. And I'm gonna be working on more STEM projects. Like I'm gonna bring back the engineering challenge this year. Well, also you and I were going to the first Lego League challenge in Puerto Rico, and I'm super excited for that. And I'm thinking on I'm planning to do one engineering challenge back in El Salvador, which probably is not gonna happen this year, but I'm gonna start planning it this year. So I'm super excited. Like, come along, guys. Let's do this journey together.
Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited for you. And yes, as the listeners, as you heard, we have quite a few exciting projects coming up for 2023. And I'm also thinking of making Fernanda like a little co host for some bonus episodes.
We're gonna bring the cheese,
Yeah, we will
man.
have all the chisme. I will have all of her social medias linked on this episode. You guys definitely go check her out, DM her, connect with her. She's super engaging. And I'm just so excited to see where your journey takes you. And thank you so much for sharing all of your stories. Follow the podcast on all social platforms at Cuéntame con Sonia Camacho. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Want to be featured in a future episode? Email cuéntame.sonia@gmail.com. Thank you to our equipment sponsor, Shure.